So every week, we discuss different things, different products, and we have highlighted different areas that will be covered. So in today's discussion of sesame seed, we're going to be talking about the product, talking about the characteristics, uses, and quality specification. We'll talk about the potential of the product, looking at the total market size, the country, the region of the world with the largest demand, packaging, the characteristics of the packaging, the types, and the packaging option, paperwork, pre- and post-export documentation, plus other documents required at the export destination. The process, that's the step-by-step process from commencement to consummation of the export transaction. The purchaser, how to get buyers, the available marketing option, and the protocol to finding buyers abroad. Pricing, cost profile, and cost element in determining export price, and the pitfall, the list of likely problems peculiar to the item of export. And today, we are looking at sesame seed, a very common item of export. All right, let's start. Sesame seed or sesamum or beniseed are seed of tropical annual Sesamum indicum. The species has a long history of cultivation, mostly for its yield of oil. And this sesame seed oil is one of the most prized oil in the world. I mean vegetable oil, highly prized vegetable oil. The original area of domestication of sesame seed is obscure, but likely seems to have been first brought into cultivation in Asia or India, and it's been cultivated for thousands of years. Two main varieties exist, whole white and on whole brown. Of course, we have the black that I showed you in the picture you saw when we were starting, but mainly white and of course brown. Sesame seed have the outer husk removed, losing some fiber and nutrient, but offering a milder flavor. Other less common varieties include black and red sesame seed with slightly different flavor profile. The plant is usually between 60 and 120 cm tall, and the fruit is a dehiscent capsule held close to the stem. When ripe, the capsule shatters to release the number of small seeds, and that's the seed that we call the sesame. The seeds are protected by fibrous hull or skin, which may be whitish to brown or black, depending on the variety of sesame. 1,000 seeds weigh about 4 to 8 grams. The seeds have a high oil content between 44 to 60%, and that's what the buyer are actually looking for. Apart from those that use it in hamburger and those that use it in tahini, majority is to remove the oil. Harvesting in Nigeria begins around late December, continue through July. Each producing area stated in the next section has only one season, from Nasarawa to Jigawa to Benue, being the major producing area. Benue, I remember as a core member in Jigawa State, I served in Kudu in Jigawa State. On Tuesday morning, I go to Gwaram from Jigawa, and I pass through a particular local government, forgotten the name of that local government, but I see big trucks coming in the morning. By the time I'm going back in the afternoon from Gwaram to Kudu, those trucks are filled up with thousands of sacks of sesame seed. So a major location for production, of course, in Jigawa State. Other important areas of production are found in Yobe, Kano, Katsina, Kogi, Gombe, and Plateau State. Specification: oil content 45 to 60. So most buyers will typically want a minimum of 45% oil content because, like I said, that is the reason why they are buying. Impurity 0 to 2%. One of the major challenges of sesame seed is free fatty acid 1 to 2% max. Moisture content 6 to 9% max. Sesame seed is rich in fat, protein, dietary fiber, vitamin B1, B6, vitamin E, and minerals, calcium, iron, manganese, and magnesium, They are a very good source of antioxidants, and that helps to remove oxygen radicals within the blood system, potentially contributing to various health benefits. Sesame seed add a nutty flavor and a delightful crunch to various dishes. Toasted sesame seed are popular topping for salad, stir fry, baked goods, tahini. A sesame seed plate is a key ingredient in hummus and various Middle East dishes. Sesame seed oil extracted from sesame seed add a unique aroma and flavor to Asian cuisine. Health benefit. Studies suggest potential benefit for heart health, blood sugar control, inflammation reduction. Sesame seed may also aid digestion and bone health. However, research is ongoing and moderation is key to enjoy their benefit. Let's move on to the potential. So where are the market? You know, when you're trying to get buyer and you want to promote online, it's important you know the location where the product is in high demand. And in the case of sesame seed, major importer are in Asia. Do you notice that about 80% of the whole import is China, Turkey, Japan, South Korea, Asia? There may be about 20% from Europe, North America very small, and of course Africa very small. Major buyer of sesame seed, the demand for sesame in the world is $3.47 billion. Major buyer of sesame seed in Asia include China, Turkey, Japan, South Korea, Israel, UAE, Vietnam, Singapore, and that's why you notice there are a lot of countries in Eastern Europe, like Turkey, that buy sesame seed. In Europe, 486 million demand. I mean, this is just to give you an idea that, look, if I want to sell sesame, these are the countries that buy, and this is the volume they buy. From Greece to Germany to Netherlands to Poland to Russia to France to Italy to United Kingdom, these are the market for sesame seed in Europe. North America, $180 million in demand. From United States to Mexico to Canada to Guatemala, here is where we have a demand for sesame. Then in Africa, Egypt, Togo, Tunisia, Algeria, Ghana, Mozambique are all buying sesame. How about South America? From Brazil to Peru to Chile to Argentina to Colombia to Ecuador. And then Oceania, Australia, and New Zealand. The largest buyer of sesame seed in the world is China, 36.4%, followed by Turkey, 8.26%, followed by Japan, 6.34%, followed by South Korea, 4.43%, followed by Greece, 3.26%. There's also demand in the US, of course, demand in Canada, very low in Canada, and also in Mexico. Let's move on to the main discussion. And one of the main discussions is packaging. Packaging. How do you package sesame seed for export? Packaging sesame for export requires careful consideration to ensure the preservation of quality and compliance with international shipping standards. Here is a guide to understand the packaging process for sesame. Quality control. Begin with high quality seed. So you must be exporting high quality seed. Ensure they meet national standard for purity. Remember, we have checked that already, 1 to 2%. Cleanliness, and of course, moisture. It's important to sort it, thoroughly clean, and sort it very well to remove impurities, and of course, to remove debris. To remove impurities should be 0 to 2% max. Moisture is 6 to 9% max. Packaging material, use food grade. Now, this is a food item. Use food grade packaging material. Don't use recycle, because recycle we already have the debris of the previous product that was inside, and that can reduce the impurity in your sesame. Use food grade material that provide barrier against moisture, barrier against light, barrier against contaminant. Common material include multi-layer bag, jute bag, vacuum seal pouches for those that sell in small sizes. Regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance. Adhere to international regulation and phytosanitary standard. Obtain necessary certification and documentation to ensure smooth custom clearance. If shipping by container, ensure the sesame seeds are loaded and secured properly. Use snake bag, another method to prevent movement and damage during transit. When you are storing sesame seed, use the supply chain management technique. First in, first out. Don't keep it too long in the warehouse. Choose reputable shipping and logistic partner to ensure safe and timely delivery. Now, packaging sesame seed in size that cater to market preference and easy handling. Some buy 25 kg, some buy 50 kg, some can even say 100 kg. Or for airtight sealing to prevent exposure to air, which can affect freshness and the quality of the seed. Freshness and the quality of the seed. Now, sesame seeds are primarily shipped in two ways, in bulk and in bags. Bulk, preferred for large shipment. This method involves using dedicated container or ship hold lined with plastic liner. It's cost effective, requires specialized equipment. A 20-foot container can typically hold around 25 to 28 tons if you are doing bulk. If in sack, it will be up to 25 tons. Now, many people that load in Nigeria do between 80 and 20 tons, even though many people use 50 kg bag. And for me, it's a sign they are not maximizing the space within the container. Don't forget to do container preparation. Ensure the product do not touch the wall. And remember the ample bag, the desiccant inside to absorb moisture in transit. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, we are going to be talking about the paperwork. Let's move on to paperwork, documentation. Remember, international trade is largely a business of documentation. This is so important. And the reason is because buyers are likely going to pay for goods before they receive it. And they will rely on document. And document prove to buyer what you have shipped. In fact, it shows if you have shipped, it shows if the good is in transit, it shows the quality and quantity of the goods. For a product like this, you require commercial invoice, then packing list. Invoice basically talk about the description, unit price, quantity. Packing list itemize the number of packaging and the weight and dimension. Bill of lading if you are shipping by sea, showing the origin, destination, consigning, freight charges, and the like. Certificate of origin issued by competent authority. In Nigeria, is issued by the Nigerian National Association of Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mine, and Agriculture. That's NASIMA. Then you have phytosanitary. Please ensure you get this document issued by the National Plant Protection Organization. In Nigeria, the MPPO for Nigeria is called Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service. Certifying the sesame seed is free of pests and diseases. This is crucial for meeting import regulation. Then, of course, you do your export declaration by filling out your NXP. In some cases, you require inspection certificate. Okay, so inspection certificate issued by independent inspector. Independent inspector. Typically, your contract will have indicated the specification and who is to do the inspection. Verifying the quality and quantity of raw materials and also checking for aflatoxin level and purity. Fumigation certificate required by some countries if fumigation treatment was applied to raw sesame seed. Letter of credit, if you use it, that's why I call it additional document, might not be required in some cases. So if you're exporting from Nigeria, you need NXP, pro forma invoice, export license, certificate of incorporation, Nigerian export proceeds, Nigerian export supervision scheme, and certificate of origin if required. Then, of course, custom will do your SGD and CCI from Neroli Technology or the pre-shipment inspection agent. Then, of course, the shipping document, and of course, phytosanitary fumigation and certificate of origin and third-party inspection document. Now, the process of export. The first thing in exporting sesame seed is preparation. At the point of preparation, you should have gotten all this information we're talking about. And then you should be export ready. Export readiness is a multifaceted concept that involves the ability of a business to enter the export market successfully, compete favorably in the export market, and significantly grow. Successfully enter, sustainably compete, and significantly grow. Inability to be ready is what makes preparation difficult. If you are ready, you already know the market, you have got a representative, you have product sample you can send to the buyer, it becomes a lot easier. Preparation is the most critical area. If you get it right at the level of preparation, promotion becomes easier, and with good promotion, you get purchase order and agree on your pricing, and then you can do your procurement. My opinion, immediately you get purchase order, before you sign, ensure you have concluded on the purchase of the product. If you don't have the product in your custody and confirm the price, if you get the price today and you go and negotiate and come back next week, the price might have gone up. Immediately you have a contract, the buyer has signed, is expecting you to sign. That is the point to buy the product, keep it in the warehouse and sign. Don't go and be looking for the goods and to buy. After you have signed, the price might move against you because the price pretty much change every week. Certificate of origin, you can get that from the NACIMA, National Association of Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture. Packaging and labeling. After packaging, pre-export documentation is done. I just showed you that before. Port clearance is done. And then post-export documentation is done. Then port-to-port shipment is done. Presentation of document at destination. Port clearance and inspection. And then payment afterward. By the way, payment can come before good arrive. But most of the time, if you're a first-timer, payment will likely come after the good have arrived at the destination when the buyer has confirmed. That's why you need a representative at destination. Let's talk about purchasers. Many people believe the challenge is purchasers, and there are different ways you can get purchasers. The only challenge is that it will cost you some money. But if you are ready to spend the money, you can always get the purchaser that you need. Look at the different options available for you to get purchaser. You can advertise on social media, but please, before you start advertising, ensure you observe all the protocols. If you want to learn the protocol for finding buyer, get Eureka Pack. This is Eureka Pack. Eureka Pack shows you the protocol you must observe when you are trying to get buyer. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn are places you can do your ad to attract the attention of the buyer. But please note, don't do advert on this platform if you don't have a rep at destination. From what we discussed under potential, you will have seen the countries. So let's say you want to target Germany or China or India or UAE, whichever market you are looking at targeting. The basis for choosing that market is because you have a representative in that market. Then you can go to B2B platform and go and register on this platform. You can go to B2B platform and go and register. And that's very important because from that platform, you can actually get the contact details of people who are interested in your product. But my recommendation, even if you get that contact detail, do not make that call so you don't mess up that transaction. Don't make the call until you have fully observed the protocol you need to observe in getting buyers. Database company, you can also buy data. Look, there are companies in different countries. If you search for them, they have this data. They can sell contact detail of importer and exporter for you. And a number of them are online, actually. Of course, the data is a bit expensive, but they will give you. So it's now left for you to reach out to them to be able to. Or you go for international trade fair. Now, having a partner at destination, any destination you have chosen, in my opinion, is so important. Either in form of overseas sales representative or overseas subsidiary company or overseas sales branch. But having a partner at destination is extremely, extremely important. All right. Let's move on to pricing. Pricing. You already know that a ton of Sesame is about 2.1. 2.150, and you can put up to about 17, 18, 19, sometimes 20 tons in a 20-feet container. That gives you an idea of the total cost of shipping a container of sesame seed. What are the other costs you are going to incur? Product cost, we just talked about that. Transport to the warehouse, that depends on the distance. Please ensure whenever you are doing commodity, ensure it goes to a warehouse where inspection can be done by the relevant agency. Very important, please. Warehousing, about 30,000 to 50,000 per ton for 1 to 4 weeks, depending on the warehouse. Port to port transport to port, depending on the carrier, the product, and the destination. Freight forwarder charge between 150 and 250 per container. Shipping and local charges about 30,000 to 40,000 per container. Freight charge depends on the carrier, the product, and the destination. NXP fee is about 8,000 per NXP. Net fee is 0.5% of the FOB value. Logistics fee about 30 to 40%, 30 to 50%. Logistics, I call it over boys, legally illegal fees. Terminal handling charges about 80 to 120,000 per container, depending on the size of your container. Marine insurance fee about 0.4 to 0.8% is expected that you should do insurance. Inspection fee about 100 to 120, it can be less, it can be more. Certificate of origin about 12 to 20,000 per shipment. Fumigation determined by the government agency, fertility determined by the government agency, and interest rate determined by your bank if you are taking a loan for the transaction. Pitfalls, one of the major challenges, because I think the reason for quality issue that government complain about Nigeria probably rejected is knowledge gap. It's knowledge gap. And if we know exactly what the issues are, it then becomes easier to prevent the good from being rejected. So we can fix the knowledge gap problem. So let's look at the pitfalls. What are the pitfalls in sesame seed export? Common quality issue with sesame seed can affect their market value and usability in various industries. Some of the common quality issues include, number one, impurities and foreign materials. Presence of impurities, sand, stone, foreign materials. This is why thorough cleaning is very important. You might buy your sesame seed as unclean, and most of the time people buy that to reduce cost. If you buy your sesame as unclean, please ensure you do cleaning. Take it to a factory. Don't do manual cleaning. Take it to a factory. There are cleaning factory in the north. I think there's even one in Ijebu. Take it to factory. Use appropriate sorting and cleaning equipment. Moisture content. High moisture content can lead to mold growth and reduce shelf life. Growth of mold and reduction in the shelf life. Now, remember, anytime you hear mold, why you must avoid mold is because of aflatoxin that destroy the product. Implement effective drying techniques and storage practices to maintain optimal moisture. Remember when we started, we talked about the quality specification. For those that join us late, we talked about the quality specification and that the moisture should be between 6 to 9% maximum. Implement effective drying technique and storage practices to maintain optimal moisture. Discoloration or off-color seed can result from improper drying. If it's not properly dry and stored like that, the color can change. Quick, now can you see what moisture is doing to it now? Can you see what moisture is doing? Quick and proper drying method to prevent discoloration. Store sesame seed in cool, dry environment to maintain the color. Rancidity. Any oil product, when it's getting bad, you feel this kind of taste that shows that it's rancid. Sesame seeds contain oil that can become rancid if exposed to, look at this, heat, light, or prolonged storage. Remember it's an oil seed, right? Because it's an oil seed, exposure to heat, light, and prolonged storage is a challenge, a big challenge that can destroy the product. Store sesame seed in airtight container, airtight bag, airtight, in cool, dark condition, no sunlight, Use proper packing material to prevent against exposure to light and air. That's why if you use a good bag, a good sack, the inside will be dark. No sunlight entering. That's why I can't stay outside for too long. Poor seed viability. Poor germination rate due to low seed viability. Use seed from reputable sources with high viability rate. This is for the farmers, but for you as a buyer, microbial contamination, bacteria and fungal contamination can occur. Look at it again. If sesame is exposed to moisture, you see this moisture thing? It's a big deal for agro-commodity. Big deal for agro-commodity. Moisture. Big deal. You want to keep it as low as required. Implement strict hygiene practices during processing. Ensure proper drying and storage, packing and packaging to prevent microbial growth. Ensure proper drying, storage, and packaging to prevent microbial growth. Microbial growth creates so many issues. Sorry, moisture creates so many issues. It creates fungal growth, discoloration, bacterial growth, and of course, if mold is growing, you know you run the risk of aflatoxin. Adulteration with other seed or substance to increase the weight. You must be careful of this. In fact, let me tell you, if you want to go and buy sesame, if you have been to where they sell rice before, there is this cone-like thing they use to shook into rice and to bring the rice out, and you can check the rice quality. You can use the same to check the quality of your sesame. You shook it up, middle, and down on the first side of the bag. Put the sesame on your hand, rub it against your pan. If you see sand on your pan, that sesame is not clean. Go and clean it. Adulteration. Implement quality control measures, including regular testing and inspection. Regular testing and the fumigation is not the usual fumigation. They fumigate, yes, but it's not the usual fumigation you do in your house. But the federal produce know exactly what to do, so engage them for that. Implement quality control measures, including regular testing and inspection. Source sesame seed from reputable suppliers with transparent value chain. Insect infestation. Infestation by insect during storage. Use proper storage facilities, such as insect-proof container. You know, sometimes you can use some bags that repel insect away. Implement pest control measure. The reason why fumigation is done, phytosanitary is done, is because of infestation. 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 Then, poor oil content. Variability in oil content can impact the overall quality of sesame seed. Variability in oil content. Select sesame seed variety with consistent oil content. That's why you should not mix. If you are buying from a source, ensure you buy all from that source. Don't mix up so that you can have consistency in the oil content. If the oil content is very low, that will be a challenge. Addressing these quality issues require collaboration along the entire sesame supply chain, from farmers to processors to exporters. Implementing and adhering to good agricultural practices, quality control measures, and ethical standards are crucial for ensuring the production and export of high-quality sesame seed. Regular testing, inspection, and certification can also contribute to maintaining quality standards and meeting market requirements.
In the heart of the bustling city, a determined entrepreneur named Lucky dreamed of taking his product to the world in order to earn foreign exchange. However, the daunting world of international trade left him feeling overwhelmed. It was then that he stumbled upon the 3T Impex Export Mentoring Program. Little did he know, this discovery would change his life and business forever. Through the program, David was immersed in a world of invaluable export trade resources and personalized advisory services. He gained insights into global markets and learned to secure lucrative export contracts from eager buyers. With 3T Impex by his side, he navigated the maze of international payments and expertly handled pricing and documentation, emerging with a deep understanding of mitigating payment risks. As he successfully orchestrated the seamless logistics of shipping his goods to distant lands, Lucky's confidence soared. With a triumphant smile, he realized that he had become the master of export trade business. Do you desire to be like Lucky? Then join the next cohort of the 3T Impex Export Mentoring Program today. Then call 080920000424, 080920000424.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for being able to make it again today. See you next week as we dive into the world of dry split ginger. Bye for now. Someone said, I'll be willing to collaborate with interested person to drive everything to fruition. Great. See you next week, and bye-bye.